How did a country that was poorer than many African nations in 1980 become the world's second largest economy in just 4 decades? Between 1981 and 2020, China lifted nearly 800 million people out of poverty, accounting for almost 75% of global poverty reduction. In just 30 years, China's economy grew by more than 4,000%, creating one of the fastest transformations in human history. In the late 1970s, China looked very different from the global powerhouse seen today. More than 80% of the population lived in rural areas, and the country's economy was heavily controlled by the government. Factories were inefficient, productivity was low, and millions lived in poverty. In 1978, Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping launched major economic reforms that changed the country's future. Farmers were allowed to sell extra produce for profit, private businesses slowly emerged, and foreign companies were invited to invest. China's GDP in 1978 stood at roughly $150 billion. By 2025, it had crossed $18 trillion. Few countries in history have experienced economic growth on such a scale. One of the biggest drivers of China's rise was its extraordinary investment in infrastructure. Since the 1980s, China has consistently invested between 35 and 45% of its GDP every year, far higher than most developed nations, which typically invest below 25%. This massive spending transformed the country's physical landscape. China now operates more than 45,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, representing over 70% of the world's total high-speed rail network. The country has also built over 177,000 kilometers of expressways, second only to the United States. By comparison, in 1988, China had no modern expressway system at all. Modern ports, airports, highways, and logistics systems dramatically reduced transportation costs and improved productivity. Moving goods quickly across a country of 1.4 billion people gave Chinese industries a massive competitive advantage in global markets. Infrastructure spending did not stop with roads and railways. China built some of the world's busiest ports, including Shanghai Port, which has remained the world's busiest container port for several years, handling more than 50 million containers annually. The country also constructed hundreds of airports to connect remote regions with major economic centers. Reliable electricity networks ensured factories could operate around the clock. Large projects such as the Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydroelectric power station, helped provide enormous amounts of energy to support industrial growth. Critics often argue that China has occasionally overbuilt infrastructure, creating so-called ghost cities. However, many economists point out that infrastructure investment played a crucial role in accelerating economic development and integrating the vast Chinese market. A major turning point came with the creation of special economic zones, commonly called SEZs. These zones offered lower taxes, fewer regulations, and business-friendly policies designed to attract foreign investment. The most famous example is Shenzhen. In 1980, Shenzhen had a population of around 30,000 people and was mainly a fishing town located next to Hong Kong. Today, its population exceeds 17 million, and its economy is larger than that of many countries. Foreign companies invested billions of dollars in these zones, bringing advanced technology, manufacturing expertise, and access to international markets. The success of Shenzhen encouraged the Chinese government to establish additional economic zones across the country. Cities such as Zhuhai, Xiamen, and Pudong rapidly emerged as industrial and financial centers. By 2024, China had attracted more than $3.8 trillion in cumulative foreign direct investment, making it one of the world's largest destinations for global capital. Companies from the United States, Europe, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan established factories throughout China. Foreign investment did not simply bring money. It introduced modern business practices, global supply chains, quality standards, and advanced production technologies. Many economists believe the SEZ strategy allowed China to experiment with market reforms on a small scale before implementing successful policies nationwide. During the 1990s and early 2000s, China rapidly transformed into the world's manufacturing center. Global companies shifted production to China because of its large workforce, improving infrastructure, and relatively lower labor costs. By 2010, China had overtaken the United States to become the world's largest manufacturing nation. Today, China accounts for approximately 30% of global manufacturing output, more than the United States, Japan, Germany, and South Korea combined. Everything from smartphones and televisions to toys and clothing is produced there. Open a random drawer at home, and there is a surprisingly good chance that at least one product carries a "Made in China" label. Some viewers may even be watching this video on a device assembled there. Statistics can be strangely personal sometimes. Cheap labor alone cannot create an economic superpower. China also invested heavily in education and workforce development. The country's literacy rate increased to over 97%, while university enrollment expanded dramatically. Every year, Chinese universities produce more than 4.5 million STEM graduates, covering science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. China now has several universities ranked among the world's top institutions. The country also significantly increased participation of women in education and employment. A larger skilled workforce meant industries could move beyond simple manufacturing into advanced sectors such as robotics, semiconductors, biotechnology, and artificial intelligence. Strong human capital became one of the foundations of China's long-term growth. Unlike many countries, China maintains strong government involvement in strategic sectors. Large state-owned enterprises continued operating in industries such as telecommunications, banking, transportation, and energy. This allowed long-term national projects to move forward quickly. Massive infrastructure programs involving hundreds of billions of dollars could be planned years in advance. For example, China's Belt and Road Initiative involves investments across more than 150 countries. Supporters argue that centralized planning allowed China to execute ambitious projects efficiently. Critics point to debt, inefficiencies, and limited market competition. Regardless of perspective, the government's ability to coordinate development on a national scale played a significant role in China's rapid rise. China did not attempt to build every industry from scratch. Instead, it focused on learning from advanced economies while steadily improving domestic capabilities. Foreign companies entering China often formed joint ventures with local firms, allowing Chinese industries to gain valuable technical knowledge. High-speed rail technology originally came from partnerships with companies in Japan, Germany, and France. Chinese engineers then adapted and improved these technologies over time. Similar patterns occurred in industries such as automobiles, electronics, and heavy machinery. Question for viewers: do you think learning from existing technology is smarter than reinventing everything from the beginning? Many economists believe this strategy helped China industrialize far faster than would otherwise have been possible. China is no longer only manufacturing products designed elsewhere. The country is increasingly becoming a global leader in advanced technology. China spends over $500 billion annually on research and development, second only to the United States. It files more international patents each year than any other country and leads in sectors such as electric vehicles, batteries, renewable energy, drones, and artificial intelligence. Chinese company BYD recently surpassed several major global automakers in electric vehicle sales, while DJI controls roughly 70% of the global consumer drone market. China has also announced ambitious plans to dominate emerging industries that could define the future global economy. China's rise was not the result of a single policy or one lucky event. Massive infrastructure investment, education, manufacturing expansion, foreign investment, technology transfer, and long-term planning all combined to create what many economists call the China miracle. Challenges still remain, including an aging population, rising debt, and slower economic growth. Even so, China's transformation remains one of the most remarkable economic stories ever recorded. In less than 50 years, a nation once defined by poverty reshaped global trade, technology, and geopolitics. The next chapter of China's story may influence the future of the entire world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.